just delivered.
Oh man.
I want Amazon Prime to reach out to understanders.
Oh, you gotta get closer to the microphone. Yeah, I've unabashedly said before that this is my favorite.
Yeah, you're right, man. Hey, everyone.
Hello.
All right, I can see your face though. There you go.
with no preamble, we're here. Oh, it's a Jansen.
This keeps happening. Welcome,
Squeezed
everyone.
it in, man.
Hello.
I am in Bel Air, outside of a house. A very wealthy person, but I signed an NDA, so I'm not allowed to say his name.
Oh, okay. Are you chilling out and relaxing? All cool.
No, well, I'm in the car, and I only have about 40 minutes, so I wanted to squeeze in because I miss you guys. I need you guys. You're like my medicine for each week. So
No.
It's so good to see
Love
you.
you, Jansen. We love you.
Are
And
you in
40
the
minutes?
house?
Then he'll be like, "Yo, home, smell you later."
Somebody got it.
Are you in the
I'm not
house?
allowed to say the guy's name, so we'll call him Beth Jesus.
Perfect.
Yeah, Beth Jesus. All right. I'll say hi to Beth for us. And speaking of Beth, hello, Beth.
Hello. How's it going?
Happy Mother's Day to each and
Happy
everyone
Mother's
who's
Day.
watching. Everyone came here from a mother. Let's reflect on all of our mothers. Ellen Warren Ryan, born November 11th, 1940. She's been gone for a while, but thank you for our life and my siblings, Ryan and my sister. Thank you to my mother as well, or my wife.
Thank you to my
So,
mother
yeah.
who lives with me, who is not listening.
Brother Dan, I was not ready for that. I might give me a second while I cry.
Oh, no, yeah, go ahead.
And, my mom's not watching tonight because she's currently playing Zelda.
I love your mom.
Well, your mom is
every
the
Mom
most
time,
of them.
is pretty freaking epic.
every
Like,
time I
she's
hear something
amazing.
new about your mom, I love her more. Like it's
Yeah, she's
amazing.
pretty
Are you
awesome.
live streaming Zelda or just playing it for fun?
She's just playing it. She doesn't stream. No.
Like actual
Like the
quote,
OG?
actual quote from a live that I watched with Beth on it. Someone asked, "Where did the lubricant come from?" Oh, my mom just brought it to me. That was a quote from a live that Beth was recently on.
that did happen.
Yes,
Wow.
it
It really did.
With
Before
us, we
start,
have
let
a
me
special.
thank Janice Savaya for birthing me. Let me also thank Gloria Antal for being one of my newest mom, my mother-in-law, who's
Aw.
awesome. And thank you. And I'd like to also thank my wife, who is also a great mom. And that's about all I got.
Yeah,
No, that's plenty, man.
it's a mamathon.
The only
Come on,
how about the only mom? Well, actually, the best mom that's on our show. I'm also kind of a mom, but not really. Beth is a mom.
Yes. Thank you.
I stood in as somebody's mother in a first sister ceremony at Jordan Con like 10 years ago. So
Very
they
cool.
are my child. But not really.
Love it. Love it.
I helped someone become a mother. Does that help?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I did. I
You
guess
have
I
a
did
day next
that
month.
too.
No. You have.
I mean, I was there.
I mean, if it was
Okay, next
consensual,
And also for
we
the
have a special guest. Oh, go
Oh,
ahead.
sorry. No. You've been trying to introduce the other person who's on the
We
screen.
have a special guest.
for like
Yes,
10 minutes, and we're telling
a friend, a longtime friend of Ryan and I. He played music with Ryan for a long time before. They, I think they were you guys roommates or just friends at UC Santa Cruz?
no, just bunk buddies.
Yeah.
You were bunk buddies. Okay, you were
That
fellow
sounds
friends.
interesting. That's not what we were going to talk about tonight. I didn't think.
Our friend
You can.
Keith, who goes by Iris Fibers, the music that you heard in the intro, the ambient beauty.
Very cool.
That is courtesy of him. He also did our metal Bella, and Ryan, I think now's a good time to give the people the metal Bella. I got it if you don't.
You gotta do it.
Okay. Bella!
That's my favorite Bella.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Feed the needy. Sign this treaty.
I'm partial to the psychedelic Bella too, but I like that Bella.
The psychedelic was the OG, but I like this new trend, indeed. And we're working on other stuff, right, Keith?
Yeah. Eventually, I will do a choral Bella for everyone.
Yay!
Nice.
You can't pressure the artist, all right? They work at their own pace.
Yeah, you ever see Toy Story 2 where he's like, you can't rush art.
It's true.
All right, Keith, how many times have you read the books?
I've read the books through 3 times.
Okay.
Or read the books
Solid.
3 times. And most recent time, I actually just like finally listened to the audiobooks with Kate Redding and Michael Kramer.
Oh, good.
I'm not even sure I can go back after that. Like 1 for convenience reasons, but 2 for like, holy shit, their performances are.
How good is Michael Kramer's Loyal?
It's awesome.
Oh, dude, everything's
freaking good.
amazing. Yeah. No, and I've listened to like other series that he's narrated, and they're equally as good. And just like, oh my god, yeah.
I actually like Michael Kramer's Elaine better than Kate's.
Yeah, Michael Kramer's is American. Kate's is British.
Yeah, I do. I like.
Is there any
Yeah.
Keith?
I'll
Is
do
there
it,
any pronunciations going from reading it 2 times and then listening to it the 3rd time that you were surprised by from them or anything like that?
No, good question.
Not to put you on the spot.
Probably, but I can't think of any off the top of my head.
It's all right. In 10 minutes, when one comes to you, just shout it out in the middle of another conversation. That's what I do with everything. So it'll be fine.
Go get it in. Go get it in.
So I did find
Look at you.
I did find it amusing that like
Mogadeen.
Kate Redding and Michael Kramer have different pronunciations.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
They've also
sometimes in the same
changed
book,
some-
he'll jump around, yeah.
Yeah, they've
Yeah.
also changed some from the beginning. Like Telmanis had a very different accent and everything at the very beginning before later on.
Oh, I didn't actually notice that. Okay, I'll have to keep that in mind next time. I'm like just about finished with another series, and I was like thinking about doing a fourth run through of Wheel of Time. So, yeah.
So I'm just going to put this out there because I've recently done this. There's only 2 so far, but Rosamund Pike has narrated The Eye of the World and The Great Hunt. I know she's recorded The Dragon Reborn, but it hasn't been released yet.
I
It
saw
is
that too.
next level. Like
Is
I
it?
love Kramer Redding,
All right.
but it is
I mean-
I just started The Great Hunt today, and just the first chapter.
Okay.
Like
It's that
honestly,
good, huh? All right.
she won an Audie award for it for her audiobook of The Eye of
Okay.
the World from
Yeah, I heard
Audible. She
about
won one of their
What
awards,
happened?
though. Yeah, it's
Okay.
excellent. It's
All right.
excellent.
No, she does have a great voice, and she's a good voice actor.
Yeah. Okay. For sure. Yeah. I noted. I'm a sucker for that. Like Anthony Sidarkit, the guy who did Gollum in the Lord of the Rings, like narrated a Lord of the
Andy
Rings.
Serkis.
Yes, Andy Serkis.
There we go.
Yeah.
And like that one was pretty fantastic too. So like I'll have to check it out. Like I'm just a sucker for like good readings of
Well,
like.
he is very, very good. So
Yeah.
I mean,
Well, if we're throwing things out, the audiobook for American Gods is such a fun listen.
So good.
Because there's like 8 different actors. So you
It's excellent.
it's not just 1 or 2 voice
I
actors.
never-
You actually like can I don't
Yeah.
know. I
Yeah,
really
but
enjoy
you
it.
have to get the 10th anniversary edition of the audiobook
Mhm.
for that. The original
It's a good one.
is not the multi actors, but the 10th anniversary got it.
Okay.
Yeah, it. Yeah.
You know,
So
you know
good.
what ones I don't like? I don't like when they do like music and sound effects like in chapter
Like a Star
while
Wars
reading.
audiobook.
Some
Yeah,
of them, yeah.
I'm kind of with you on that one. I was a little surprised. I've heard some of those before, and I feel like it's like almost distracting from the story.
For me, it is.
Yeah, I
It becomes
agree.
more like a radio play.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I did. Brent Weeks' series. I tried listening to his. Someone gave me the audio.
Trilogy.
Yeah, I couldn't do it because there's.
I couldn't do those ones either.
There was like an ambient music throughout the whole first chapter or something like that, and it's just sound, and I was like, nope, can't. I restarted this book 6 times, and I'm done. I can't.
Yeah.
For sure. Yeah.
Well, let's jump into motherhood. I mean, Jansen's sitting outside of Bez's house. Bez Janos.
Oh, the Jezu's house.
Jez Banos. It's Beth Jezos.
Snez Lanos. So let's go into motherhood. Motherhood is, to me, is somewhat of a slippery subject in the Wheel of Time.
Oh,
we don't get that many awesome representations of like a good, stable mom.
Or dad. Or dad.
except Tam.
Except
And
Tam.
Abel.
Except for Tamathor. Except
No,
for like
yeah.
Marin Alvear is great. I mean, we meet Fael's mom, and Fael's mom is like straight out bonkers, right? It's like, how do you
It's
deal
not.
with
She's
that?
amazing.
The Aiel are straight out. How do you deal with an Aiel mom? Right.
Oh yeah, I was about to say all the IEL moms are gangster, man. They're awesome.
So I've got some
Oh,
honorable
man.
mentions of people. See, I did some seriously deep diving.
All right, let's go.
Okay. Why am I not surprised by that?
Moms that I found the most horrible mom in the all of Wheel of Time.
Who's
But I
that?
did find some good ones.
Tell. Go.
The worst
Hater's
mom in
mom.
all of Wheel of Time has to be Brienne Mandragarin. Because she raised her son in the worst place from infancy that a child could have been raised in.
The
In
town?
all of Wheel of Time. Yes.
How do you know but you don't know she lived.
Well, but we don't know she didn't either. And from Slayer's point of view, he was raised there from infancy. Now, I don't think that the town's the kind of place where an infant son's going to make it if he's not with his real mom. So I have to believe that Brienne lived long enough to give him some skills to survive. And he was raised in the town, which still terrifies him to this day when he talks about it.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm just proud of
she
myself
died.
that I knew who you were talking about.
Yeah, I thought she died.
Yeah,
Didn't
what-
she die?
No,
I thought
said
they
what
never
happened.
they never fully disclose.
But
That's
all we
okay.
know is that from Slayer's POV, he talks about it when he goes to meet Sindane in the town,
Yeah.
and he
I'm
talks
sorry,
about.
but I have to one up you there. I'm
Okay.
sorry.
Huh?
I think the Empress of Shanchan is the worst mother in the Wheel of
For
Time.
real. Literally encouraging her
Yeah.
children. I was going to say.
Literally encouraging her
No.
children to assassinate each other.
Yeah, I was about to say, literally encouraging her children to kill each
The
other.
worst mom.
Well,
The
she
worst
never
mom.
even met them. She hardly even met them.
Well, how does that? That's not helping her situation.
Yeah, she didn't raise them like they were raised by their, what are they called?
That makes it worse.
that makes it worse.
worse.
And that
At
just
least-
reminds
at
me.
least Brienne, you could say she was trying to survive. She was in a situation that was terrible.
But
Empress, may she live forever.
Well,
We're not
well,
talking about Ebony right now
Not
because
Ebony, not
Ebony's amazing.
Yeah, have you
the
seen her
final
children? Her
product-
children are.
yeah, the final product of all of their children, Brienne's became the worst.
Because of this environment he was raised in.
I don't know if they became. I don't know. Well,
Because
so
they're not dark friend.
if we're going off evidence, like the only time, like we,
Evidentiary.
yeah, all we see from Brienne is I believe the last thing we see of her is her fleeing into the blight with the child Issam, and then the next time we see Issam is in his flashback when he's a child with no parentage in sight. Like we don't know if she's
Right,
alive.
he
or dead,
was
but
one
there's
of
no
the foundlings in the town trying to
Yes.
survive, right?
Exactly.
Like
The Empress is there. She can do whatever she wants. She's the Empress, and she's still. Her kids are killing each
Whoa!
other. Like
He is not a dark friend.
we don't know if Brienne was a dark friend either.
Well, yes, we do.
no, she could have
We
been
know nothing about
manipulated.
her. We know her name and her relationship to that she's a Mandragarin. That's it.
Okay, this is the battle of the deep dives. Can I go get popcorn?
Blaine.
Oh,
Blaine is a dark friend.
remind me before the end of the show. I want to do it later so that we can train people to watch. I have a question that I think I could stump Jansen with.
But
you.
Jansen has
What?
like 30 minutes.
What?
So you might as well do
I
it.
also have the companion right here. I mean, I could look it up.
Yeah, I don't have a lot of time.
Before you leave, we'll get you. Before you leave.
Yes. I love this shit.
I'm
This
looking
is like
forward to it.
WWE WOT.
Woo, this is tough. Oh my god.
Mhm.
There's very few people who I'm like a little nervous about.
I know, but you said specifically that when you went to JordanCon, you were hoping to find someone that could stump you, and I was like, all right, challenge accepted. So I started
All
thinking
right,
about it.
okay.
Oh, let's do it. Let's do it.
I'm stoked.
Anyway,
Oh,
Ryan, did you? That sounded like a gauntlet being thrown somewhere.
I know my trivia stuff is not like like he knows like chapter names and shit. My brain doesn't do that. So
Yeah.
So like I like if you go, oh, what chapter was so and so? I don't know. Like Winter Night is a chapter I remember. Like the name of the chapter, and then like drips and drabs of other names of chapters. But Wheel Time lore and shit like that I get, and that's where my question lies. I don't.
Yeah,
That's basically.
I believe we don't know if she died, but we'll find out. But I don't think that we actually hear of her death. Per
No,
se.
I'm
to Jansen's point.
I'm
Lord
99%
Aguilar
sure.
Yeah, Lord
Sorry, go ahead.
Aguilar says actually that I cannot. What does he say? He says I cannot
Elmingard.
say for sure what happened to Brienne. I can only have pity for the child. That's what he said.
That's
He
true.
doesn't actually say what happens. He said I can only
Because she had an affair with somebody, and that's what led to the fall of Malkier, right? Like she had an affair. It doesn't mean she was a dark friend.
Let me think on the.
I mean, that's
actual
just
fact.
my, and I could be wrong because I'm not as well versed on more as you guys are.
Trying to think of the actual.
Yeah,
text.
I don't want to be sitting on like Google typing and Googling. But
Yeah,
if someone,
yeah.
no one
This is probably
Nolan Garden's my go-to.
Yeah, I'm
Let's
gonna
call
call
this
Sanders not here. I'm sure he
a
would have been on
topic
it
for
already.
another show. How about that?
Anyway, moms.
love it.
Good moms.
Yeah, let's get back to moms.
Do we know if the
Your mom-
Congers have kids? Because Days Conger is pretty. She's pretty. She's, for lack of a better term to easily describe her, gangster as fuck. Like, did you see her in the show with that
Oh, she was
pitchfork fighting Trollocs?
She was gangster as fuck, yeah. And she was like, "Hey, your girl's drinking with us. She's part of our gang now." And she's like, "Hey, come on, Egwin, drink." Yeah, she was.
Yeah, who is
right?
Ewan?
Right?
Ewan Conger? Isn't that his name? Ewan Conger.
Is that? Yeah, I think that's her.
No, Ewan Fingar.
Fingar. That's
Fingar.
he's the one that gets the coin from Warren, but it's not the magic coin.
There's
in
one
either
Conger
Right.
and all his jacked off friends. Matt always talks about. God, what's his
The
name?
Congers, the Coplans, and the Flynns.
Coplands,
I don't know.
Congers, and
Coplin,
Yeah,
Conger.
who is?
I don't know.
Coplans.
We're pathetic.
Ain't no Coplin talk. No
But, I
Coplin
mean, we're
talk.
definitely going to talk about Mistress Alvear, correct?
Oh well,
Yeah, I mean, so she's the best mom. She's the stereotypical greatest mom in the show, right?
Yeah.
I mean, so if you're looking for like someone who like has kind of a gruff husband, but she just like roughs his head, and he's like, and she just
She's
smiles
also-
fondly. She's making soups and breads.
yeah. She's
pancakes.
like. She's like the typical Southern grandma in like a small town. You know, she's the known as the baker, and like, you know, she's like, I don't know if she was the head of the women's circle, but she's definitely one of the more powerful voices in the women's circle. So she's like, you know,
Of course she
the
was. Her
matriarch
husband
of the
was
town.
mayor. No, there was a conglomerate. You know that there was a power dynamic that branched out from the wine spring, and it was all about. And we'll talk about this another time. But yeah, she knew. Come
a
on,
racketeering ring that Brienne Alvear
She
and Marin
knew.
Alvear.
Marin knew. All right, so let's talk about mothers in general within the society. So we don't. I mean, I have some issues with some of the parenting techniques that are done, I suppose, within certain, and we won't even get to the Shanshan. We won't even. I don't even know what happens with the the sea folk, but it's probably weird. But
Well, you do know what happens with the sea folk.
Yeah,
I don't
Because
remember.
the Witchfinders, they treat their, her daughter was an apprentice. I can't remember.
They seem.
Yeah, but they
They're a little
treat
strict. They're a
in
little strict.
private they're different though.
That's
Yeah.
true.
They're
That's
very
true. In
different
private,
in
they are
private.
different. Yeah.
Oh, Dovie's leaving. Bye.
Hi, Dovie.
Tell your
Bye,
mom we
Dov.
love her for making
Mwah,
you.
mwah, mwah.
Ew.
All in all, the sea folk seem pretty put together and well structured, disciplined, smart. Like good, well-rounded people. Like they're not.
Yeah,
they don't seem too overly strict or violent. There wasn't a lot of mishaps or bad, things coming from the sea folk. They seem to do pretty well. The sea folk and the Aiel were like the most chill of the societies, I think.
Weirdly, both cultures are also their biggest faults are their arrogance, though.
Yeah,
Both cultures.
I can see that.
I kind of agree though. The sea folk seem super super chill. Like they seem like very like we're gonna raise you to be functional members of our society, and like beyond that, like they seem to have like a very like free way of going about things. Like
Yeah.
I was actually like a big fan of their kind of like their general demeanor as like a culture or whatever.
Well, unless you're an Aes Sedai, and then they'll cut the ladder and throw your ass in
Well,
the river.
Well, I mean that's because the White Tower and how they, for lack of a better term, right now bogart channeling with women. So like
Noodles.
but the I think one of the major faults for the sea folk and the Aiel moms, notwithstanding, are just their nationalistic tendencies, where they kind of just they keep to themselves. They're cloistered. They're closed off to the other societies and the rest of the world. But
I mean,
I think they raised some pretty awesome kids. Like I'd love to meet Ruark's mom. Sorry.
Protect their female channelers though.
Yeah,
Like-
that's why they're so standoffish with the Aes Sedai.
Well, to your point, though, Tom, I mean, Ruark's mom may have sent him out when he was 10 years old to go run to Meridian and back, and that would have been their culture, and it would have been fine. She would have been a good mother in that regard, through those lenses. But to me, setting a 10-year-old running through the waste would be dangerous and not cool.
Yeah,
I mean,
kinda.
so I mean,
but in relation, we grew up in a generation of make sure you're home by the time the street lights come on.
Yeah, like,
and you wouldn't let your kids ever do
No.
that now, right? So, like, it's all in relation to how you were raised and the environment you were raised in.
Yeah, the strict
So-
honor code that the Aiel go by, like they would never hurt a kid.
Thank you, Beth.
By the way, guys,
Well,
I
but
have to go in 5 minutes, and I need to talk about my second worst mom in all of
Okay.
real time.
all right, let's do it.
Tigraine Mantiar.
Brain.
So
Oh,
conflicted about this. I agree.
Oh,
I
oh,
agree.
Crazy.
Brandon,
Dude, don't get me wrong, dude. I love the scenes, but she left abandoned one, and then she knew she was pregnant, went into war, and had a baby
Agreed.
on a mountain of coal to death. That's a
shit.
pretty bad.
Holy shit.
Jansen's
All
right.
right.
Jansen is 100% right in this.
That is a pretty bad mom.
As much as we
All right.
love Shail and as much as
I
we
love
love
her, but man, boy, is she a doozy.
Right, and we blame the Andor kids. We blame Galad and Gawain for being fucked up. Guess what? They're all
Tigraine
product of their
is bad.
environment. It's nurture, not nature.
Yeah.
I
But
agree. I mean, yeah.
Galad was mostly like most of his, I think, his bad personality traits came from his dad.
But this is the thing, though. Galad had a great mom. He loved Morgaze.
Yeah, and that's where
He
most
was
of his
raised
good.
by Morgaze, and he loved her. And she
His
all
mother,
all
loved
of her
him.
kids had a great sense of purpose and a sense of
Mhm.
what to do about the people and how to rule properly. So Morgaze was not that bad.
Well, but
Gates
she
is-
did not quell this entire hatred. How often do you think Elaine walked around saying, "You're not my brother"? Hey, you're not my brother. And when he goes, "Hey, mom," that's not your mom. I mean, Elaine, we saw it like 5 times in the first chapter.
But you have to remember, Galad is 10 years older than
It must have been horrible.
Galad is not a small child. He is 10 years older than Elaine.
Still.
He's 30 in the books. He is not like a close in age to any of
sorry,
these characters.
guys. You guys, let me hear that question.
Okay.
before I go.
All right, before you go, the question. So, it seems simple, but how many types, like numbers, how many, like 1, 2, 3, 4, are of shadow spawn are there? Specifically, creatures that are unnatural that were created by Agenor. And
All right, let's sound
What
this
are
out. Go ahead.
Okay,
this is for
so
Jansen, though.
This is a weird question because there's been mention of other shadow spawn, and we don't know if he made them or not. And I think the quote from Grendel was, "Those creatures followed no master except the great lord himself." So are we talking about those two?
No, just the ones that Agenor made.
Okay. So Agenor made the Golem. Agenor made the Trollocs. Agenor did not make the Midro. They were an offshoot. He did not make them. Made the worms, which they actually called Zumai back in the day. He made
Jumara.
Jamara.
So that's 4. He made. Now I'm not sure they were. I'm not sure they weren't specific of whether he not made the gray men or not. Let me think. I'm gonna see. Let me think.
Okay, wait a minute. You said the
Drakkar,
the Drakkar, the Trollocs, and the Golem.
and the Golem.
Okay.
And so that's 4.
You got this, baby.
There's another one.
I think I know it, but I'm not 100% sure.
Hold on.
Well, I know it.
Brother Dan knows it.
But
Brother
every time I
Dan
walk,
knows
I
it.
leave footprints.
Brother
and
Dan
it's
knows a
kinda
lot of stuff.
I know there's another one. What is it? It's
Oh, there's 4 more.
I smell like sulfur.
Oh.
4 more. Can't believe I'm getting stumped on this shit. Damn it. I don't have time to peruse. Damn it.
You saw it here first, ladies and gentlemen.
No!
Jansen is actually stumped.
Oh no! You know what a stump is? It's when you cut down a great tree. I will not let that happen to Jansen.
Do you want me to let him out?
Let him out. I gotta go.
So Glenn had another one in chat. Dark Hounds.
Dark Hounds, right? Yeah.
It's not Zumai, it's Zumara. Those were the like soulless undead humanoid servants that they made attacked as like slaves.
Yes, the Zamara.
Then there's the Jumar, which are the Jumara, which are the worms. The Drakkar, the Golem, and then the one that I said Dark Hound. There's one that everyone almost forgets, which are the Forgers.
Dakandar! The ones that forged the weapons.
And Agenor made them?
When the scene that we see them, the only scene that we see them is when the Demandred is on the slopes of Thakandar, and he specifically has the thought of Agenor making them.
Right
you're getting the fist of respect,
son.
Oh my goodness gracious!
No, I love.
Go make that money.
You got way more deep knowledge of stuff like of
Wheel of Time trivia. Coming, man. I like being on my toes. This was awesome.
Yeah, no,
I love you guys, man.
I love talking Wheel of Time. So
Chuck left Lipsos. I say
I gotta go make old fashions, guys.
Go make money. Go make money.
Jansen.
Love you, Jay. Hey,
love you.
Thank you, man.
Go make money.
man,
There was
I
also
missed them
there's
already.
also another one. So the eighth one is one that's only mentioned in passing in like one spot. I wasn't gonna give him shit for not remembering it. It's they call them Kafar, and they said that there may be one in a stasis box somewhere, but they were like horrible, and like I think one of the female Forsaken is like musing about it and how they were terrible and there were swarms of them. I don't remember, but yeah. Anyway,
hold on. I'm pretty sure that Agenor created Swedish Fish as well.
yes,
I
but
love
think so.